Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Oregon Trail here on the Lord Master channel. 90% done. We're gonna finish this today. One second. Excuse me. Now, the last video was a tough one for me. At least. Not much for the wagon, but for the well-being of these party members here. Yes. So, let's just get it over with. Let's finish this ordeal. So here we are at Fort Nez Perce, which on the map here is only about 2 more places to go. We go to the Dalles, which will either raft down the Columbia River or take the Barlow Toll Road. We'll see what the shape will be in by the time we get there. But first we got some business to take care of, so let's talk first. The fortress is an imposing structure. Several walls are layered at the outskirts, serving as impenetrable defenses. Trade is only conducted through a small hole in the inner wall, limiting how many people have access to the fort interior. George, the fort's named after the Nez Perce people. It's actually located on traditional lands of the Walla Walla. Boy, I'm sure someone was fired for that blunder. Joseph, we hold an annual expeditions into Snake Country from the fort. We started doing it after Donald Mackenzie proved it was a worthwhile fur trapping venture. Amy Witherspoon, my cousin Catherine was one of the 6 children, orphaned, and left at Willamette Whitman's mission. Lived with them for 3 years, until the massacre last November. She has survived snake bites, stampedes, falls, fights, not to mention a massacre. Oh, look what. You ask about what happened at the mission? I ask you why Dr. Whitman's medicine cured white children, but not the children of my people. The missionaries spread the measles to us and threatened our way of life. And then finally, George Washington Bush. Hello, travelers. It would seem the government in all its infinite wisdom doesn't want my business in Oregon. The fickle fools. George Bush was never one to take a lashing. I called in a favor from some old business pals from Hudson's, and we're heading north instead. Good luck to you. But the real question is, why the hell is this still in my wagon? I thought some people were gonna come here and deal with all this. Like, I was supposed to give it to somebody at Fort Boise, and then this didn't happen. What happened? Did that man... I don't know. Was there something I screwed up? I don't know, but one thing's for certain. We gotta fix up Gus's arm. Because I'm not spending my money on this. Here you go. Because I am not letting these quacks get near him. That's right, I said quacks. Why not? You get healed up too. Everybody gets healed. Because we want to be a tip-top shape. Let's sell the pelts. All that we have. Make it good, Annie. Shit. Okay. We'll sell all 19 pelts for $95. It could have been slightly more than that. But it's good enough. I could buy bullets. More wheel greases would be fine, but a coffee is always nice to have. Hey. Damn it! I was hoping to get it down so I could trade away that last Dragoon medallion. But that will not suffice. I could buy my own coffee. Although, we do have a lot of meat, but I don't know if I really want to risk, you know, for all this. Remember, get that out of here. I'm not dubbing that base, though. Not double base. I'm thinking, what happens if I take it all the way to the Willamette Valley with me? Since that guy who was supposed to get it, or was going to give, or whatever, that occurred, never happened. It never did. Oh. So. Reconsider. I'll have a think about it. Let's just rest for a day. Why the hell not? Money's gonna be spent elsewhere. At least we let the oxen recover because you know they've been through a lot. Any new traders? No, of course not. Now, off to the store. I mean, the ox is gone. And there's no way of getting it back. There's no meat, but I would like to have at least 2 wheel greases. 2 in stock. One, 2. Anything else that we may need along the way? Ah, yes, bullets. Need bullets if you've got any bullets for sale. $90 for a box of 50 bullets. Jiminy Christmas, you charge an arm and a leg with that shit. And fine, I'll get my own coffee. And they only have 1 in stock though. Still got plenty of toolboxes. Clothes, no problem. Pay it. Bank it. Still saving some money because either Columbia River or Arlo Toll Road when we get there. And plus the services. If there's any need for it. Especially from you two, Walter and Annie. Maggie's fine because as soon as you give her, it's as close it goes back up to the max. It's $5, so it's fine. And hey, of course you would. Now it's 7. Each time you do that, the price is going to increase. Give Gus a set of clothes. If Maggie's hygiene goes down, you know what to do exactly. This amount of space, if only we can go fishing. hopefully this will be enough till we get to Oregon. This is it. I'm gonna home stretch it here. We're gonna be heading to the Dalles. 130 miles. Avoid contracting cholera and dysentery. Easy enough. Where the trail finally meets the banks of the Columbia River. Only the final difficult stretch lies ahead. There's one more unexplored thing. As I said, meat's not an issue. But I would like to get some fish so we could sell them to make a little bit more fortune. Oh, and also for God's sake, slow down. Because, you know, the stamina has not recovered. If we're going to be doing such things. So, head down this way. Whatever it is. The party leaves the safety of Fort Nez Perce, steeling themselves for the final leg of the Oregon Trail. Oh, God dog it. The wagon jostles the unsmooth movement of the oxen, pulls across the ever-changing ground. Oh, damn it. That's it. You forced my hand. Keep the wheel. I don't think it should break any further. Just leave it as it is. Oh! Put that back. So it's gonna look like that for a while. Just hope it doesn't break any further. Ghost begins scratches stomach furiously. Seems bitten by the many mites hiding in the grass along the trail. The infection can be eased by placing the bacon grease on the irritator, but doing so would use some of the stored meat. Use it. Gus places bacon grease on the worst spots. The fatty juice eases itchiness considerably. It is comfortable once more. Is that a hunting ground? Yes, it is. Well, Walter, I'm gonna hunt again. I know we got lots of meat, but just think about it. All that storage. Where the meat's gonna go. Don't worry about it. It's gonna stack up there. Just carry 200 each. Go ahead. And bring a few pelts along the way too. Because I want more money at the end. Okay, that's one shot for these elk. Shit. I was hoping for some off-screen kills. Just trying to shoot, but just can't do that now, can we? That'll do. Now get the pelts. We're not on a timer here, so it's fine. And let's go fishing for once. Of course, rain would put a damper on us. Clouding looming clouds as I last got, showering the wagon a constant blanket of rain. You know, there's a hole in that wagon, so that's not good. The mood sombers as the wagon wheel slogs over the muddy ground. We should have repaired that wagon. Ah, damn it. The rainforest over the wagon's damage can't be ruining some valuable supplies. One pelt. We'll get some more when we hunt later. Yep, we left that hole open. For Maggie. To the max. Because she has that neat personality. She likes to be tidy. It's been a while since we've done this. Fish team in the water nearby. A prime location to cast a line and try and catch a bite. No bait is required, a party could crash some. 25 bait. We should go fishing. Fishing is ideally suited with those of patience and a good attitude. That'll be Annie. Mm-hmm. There we go. Mountain whitefish. Rocky Mountain-tailed frog? It's not a fish, that's a frog. Chinook salmon. Typically they're larger than that. Another one. Short-nosed sucker. White sturgeon. Caught the maximum number of fish can carry. You got it. 7 fish. Now keep in mind, you don't have the knife to, you know, properly clean all the fish, so we have 95 to be exact. So now there's more elk to hunt, which I'm willing to bag some of them. Yeah, things are breaking down now. Put another wheel grace. God dog it. Gus lets out a wheezy cough. His poor health is beginning to exact a toll. And he's heard rumors of a local plant known as Devil's Club. Crushed, its root and stem may be used as a poultice on wounds, or just as a health tonic. Searching for this plant may take time, if it can be found at all. It may well prove useful. Annie, you mentioned this before. You search for the herb. You got good energy. Annie, leveraging her superior knowledge of the area, locates the large stand of Devil's Club. After the outer bark of the root is scraped off, and the interior crushed into a paste, there is enough of the remedy to aid Gus and some extra store for the future besides. Yeah, Gus doesn't have his max health up because I didn't get to the position to increase that back. So he's going to be in that kind of state for the rest of this trail. For once, let Mega do the shooting, even though her stamina isn't all the way. But still more meat to storm. Doesn't matter if it reaches to the max. Let's get to work. Plus more pelts for sale in addition to fish. Go. Yeah, you're definitely not carrying all that back. No way, no how. But pelts is just what we need. Only 100 back. That's fine. Just want the pelts, which you got about 7 of them. Imagine that having a knife to go along with it. The party sees the gunslinger up ahead. Even from this distance, he looks tired. There's something about him that suggests a great weight has been lifted from his shoulders. Let's see what he did, because this is what we're here for in this part of the episode. I found Coogan. I had him dead to rights, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't pull that trigger. Make myself the kind of man he is. At least I got the watch back. I was mad as hell, but ending Coogan would have cost me my soul. Mary and little Charlotte need me to back on the plantation in Louisiana. So that's where I'm headed. It's what Josh would have wanted, and where I should have stayed all along. Thanks for your company and your advice. Hope you get to wherever you're headed safe and sound. Take these. I don't need them anymore. So long. I wish you well and best of luck in your travels. That's another quest completed. And that's all the bullets it can hold in the box. Thanks. Shooting willy-nilly anyway. As the party descends the mountains, the rough and treacherous trail takes its toll. The party's quickly sap of energy, growing ever more tired from the trek. About to arrive at the Dalles. And winter is still quite far off. So I'm glad we kept it at a good, reasonable pace and didn't rest too much. Not to mention the wagon in good condition. As the party crests the final rise of the Dalles, vast swaths of Oregon country appear ahead. The journey is nearly over. Collar in the hymn book. Collar in the hymn book. The harmonica in the hymn book. Well, give it to Annie. She's the one with the most composure. Especially with what we've been gone through these days. There is no store here, but let's talk first. Many travelers have gathered around either waiting for the courage to finish their journey or prepare for the long trip back east. These last 100 miles to the Willamette Valley are sure the roughest. Either rafting down the Columbia River or driving your wagon over the Cascades. My advice is to hire a guide. I know a cayuse man who's great at navigating the river. Amy Witherspoon. My cousin Lydia engaged a passage down to Columbia with some cayuse guides. A canoe with 17 people and luggage. The wind blew so heavy they had to lay by. Near dark, high waves came up and over their heads, and finally they made it ashore safely. And that toll collector. I collect the tolls for the Barlow Road. I bargain at twice the price. Until last year, the Overlander Trail had no choice. Everyone floated to Columbia. Now, with Mr. Barlow's Road, you can drive your wagon right into Oregon City. Anybody want to trade for pelts or fish? If not, I'll sell them so we can make some bank at the end. If we take the Barlow Toll Road, we're going to need some toolboxes. In fact, we just may. Okay. Alright. 4 toolboxes. We got so much damn meat. I'm sure we'll get some back. I doubt that we'll be trading something away for, you know, the goddamn, you know, wheel grease. Coffee would be nice. If you can get it down a little. Your turn, Annie. No joy. I think we may need bullets for any potential hunts along the way. So, let's sell the fish and pelts. You do it, Gus. So it's $2 per fish and 95 fish, bringing the total $190. Well, let's sell the pelts as well. Go again, Maggie. Sell them all. Again, I plan on going to Barlow Toll Road. If I wanted to go down the Columbia River, I'd be taking these pelts with me. That's gonna be my choice for this time. It's too bad nobody's willing to trade away an ox. So we can have a third ox, so instead we're just gonna be down with 2. As we earned $60, you bring in a total of $352. That's a very good amount. So let's rest here for 2 days. I'm giving you 2 days. Then we'll go to the toll road. Just again. You know what? One more. I was about to say, let's just keep it up until morale starts going down. Because that means they're getting impatient of all this waiting. You know what? At the max. Fine. One last day, then we'll get rolling. So you all deserve a long rest. So now we're ready. One coffee bean to spare. Got 2 harmonicas, so that'll deal with the morale issue. These extra sets of clothes. That's gonna be for you 3. And we got enough herbal remedies for whatever issue that may happen. Well, we should have enough toolboxes in case the wagon breakdowns. Not to mention this wagon wheel, which also can count up as such. But I guess we're bringing this home to our new home. Since we've been here so long, there gotta be different traders by now, right? Traps, and bullets, and coffee. Can haggle. If you want traps, if you're gonna be hunting again. If there is an opportunity to hunt. Yes. Damn it. Okay, disregard it. Won't work. Well, let's just get on moving then. Ah! Popped my neck. Okay. Been here long enough. We'll stay with the steady pace. After months of travel, the group must resolve on a final approach to Oregon. Will they venture north and brave the Columbia River rapids, or go south along the overland route via the Barlow Toll Road? The party weighs their options soberly. Again, it is in my personal opinion, we should do the Barlow Toll Road. If I'm going to do another Oregon trail, that's when I will do the Columbia River. It makes sense, because when I do all the other trails for the future videos that'll be coming up in this here channel, to unlock all the classes and items and all of the other things that you may need, may prove helpful. That's from my personal opinion. We'll just go straight to Oregon City. It's only 111 miles. Oregon City stands as the final destination on the trail, offering a new life and new opportunities for anyone who can make it. Just don't get dysentery cholera, for Christ's sake. It is agreed. The Barlow Toll Road seems by far the safer route. The party travels south, dreaming of Oregon ahead. Not to mention, we got so much money. Oh, damn it. Gus loses footing on the silver patch of leaves and the evergreen needles. With an almighty whack, his head collides with the wagon. The impact leaves a large lump and a brief dizzy spell, but not much else. Stop. Herbal remedy. I want to keep everybody as healthy as possible. Ah, here it is. Welcome to the Barlow Road. Now the passage costs $10 per person, 5 per head of oxen, which comes a total of $50. Normally I would protest this, but $300, but arriving in Oregon City, $300 is a good amount to settle with. Just pay the money. Thank you kindly. We hope to see you again soon. So that was toll road, so there's a lot of undiscovered, so you know what, screw it. Just go to these undiscovered places. If food starts becoming an issue again, we'll fish or hunt. Just want to go over there. But remain at a steady pace. We'll be there in 6 days. Actually, you may want to pick up the pace a little. Make it 4 days. Because stamina's high enough. Remember, you got coffee. And if the wagon starts breaking, you know what to do. Winter in 59 days. See, we're far from it. Grove of wild berries grows near the trail ahead. Party looks at them eagerly, anticipating a delicious change from the food packed on the journey. These are raspberries, safe to eat, but best collected by someone with a keen eye. We should forage the berries. Annie. Whether through pure intuition or practice skill, Annie collects an abundance of wild berries. 75 foodstuffs. Excellent. There is room in that for the wagon. Hunting's ideally suited for those spend time in the wilderness. Require keen shooting skill and the ability to track prey through challenging environments. Builds little stamina keep able to kill. So this is a hunting ground, and I see squirrels. So that can't be good for anybody. Maggie, you're the best shot. You can move fast. I guess we're doing squirrel hunting. Look at how fast these sons of bee waxes are. There's no way I'll be able to. You got 50 bullets, just shoot willy-nilly, alright? If you see a squirrel, just fire, fire, fire. Well, not twice, for God's sakes. Oh, I shot something else off screen. What was that? If it's coming. Because the bullet just went far and it kept continuing. I probably downed a deer or something. Or I shot a bear or whatever. Guess we could bring a few pelts with us. We could take our sweet time out there. So, over ahead, that's squirrel hunting. Okay. Black bear. Okay, hunting and fishing all the way. Hunt and fish all the livelong day. Oh, fiddlesticks, says Walter. What? Where are we? Says Annie. We're lost, aren't we? Are we lost? The wagon and the party finds themselves led astray from the trail. The wagon is 4 hours off course. There is some debate amongst the party how to best return the trail. Who should take the lead? Gus, you do it. Let's go. This way. Or skill of palm. Gus swiftly guides the party back into the intended route, saving them from days of aimless wandering. Ooh. That's 2. Also, I just spent that wheel. God dog it. Didn't mean to do that. It doesn't matter how much meat we can carry back. Just do the shooting. You got so many bullets, just shoot, shoot, shoot. So what are you gonna do now, Maggie? For now on, double tap. Shit, I could have got that last one. Six pelts. You've done a very good collection. Now let's go fishing. Some real outdoor stuff. Just hope the wagon don't break. As soon as you said that, it broke. Wagon bed and the canopy has been damaged by the rough trail. Well, nothing could be as broken complete this time. Party should consider repairing the damage before things get worse. Just have to repair the wagon. Maggie, you're the one with the carpentry skill. I mean, you're just the best at just about everything. All right. So improvements made. Hard work, but it's honest living. I have a feeling after we fish, this wagon's gonna start taking damage again. Oh, and also, Stamina's getting a bit low, so this is the last one. Why not? Dump the flour. Make some room for some fish. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Make some room for some fish. Oh, by the way, hold on one second. Party health. It's all full, right? Yes, sir. No need to worry about the hygiene. Dump the flour. We eat meat and fish, just like real outdoorsmen and women. There shall be no more of that flour crap for the rest of the way. Black saddlebag skimming. Fish team in the water nearby. Prime location, cast the line and try to catch a bite. Baits required. Party could craft some. How are the oxen? I didn't see that part. The oxen are good. You're the fisherwoman, Annie. Columbia scoop pin. What the hell? See a lot more fish. Sockeye salmon. I know those. Chinook salmon caught. Not trophy fish. And since they were both at the same spot, you do catch them at the same time. I didn't know that could count. Oh, just went away. Stop, stop. Is that a waste of a bait? I mean, I didn't see it. I didn't know you can catch more than one fish in the same spot. Okay. I was thinking about, hey, should we just dump the bait? Just use them all up? But no, let's go and let's get it. Not to mention a 2-for-1. Way to go, Annie. A religious banker. 95. Don't break. That's all I ask. Because we're getting there. Oh my god, the ox was exhausted and just ran off. The ox got exhausted and the other ran. Stress from the archer, the ox breaks free from its yoke and dashes off the trail. Retrieving the ox could take a lot of time and requires someone skilled at tracking. Walter thinks it may be possible to lure the ox back instead of tracking it down. Search for the ox, for Christ's sake. Tracking the beast could take a lot of time and require someone skilled at tracking. Annie, go for it. Bring it back, please. And the other's exhausted, so it may have to get the pace. Annie falls to her skill and locates the ox of east. She finds it resting under the shade of a bush. Perhaps it was feeling overworked. Leaning it back and sends it under the oak once again. Stop, stop, stop. Simply for the sake of it, let's slow down as we make our arrival to Oregon City in triumph. As we slow. The ox are tired. They're Stamina is excellent. Oh, and let's use up the clothes. Why not? Anything else? I mean, morale is excellent. Yep, that's what we're coming into Oregon with. Slow and steady. Yeah, because the ox are tired. Hate to lose one right before we arrive to Oregon City. There's something up ahead. This is it. Hooray! After months of turmoil and privation, fearsome dangers, and matchless wonder, the party has finally made it to the Willamette Valley. Only Maggie had the one that had relatively lower stamina. While everyone has high morale, everybody's in high spirits. So there you go. Unlocked a new journey, Oregon or bust. Brave the most difficult version of the trail in this ultimate test of knowledge, planning, and decision making. And we got a harmonica and a hymn book just to add to it as we enter into Oregon City. So congratulations, your party has reached Oregon City, as our party members are on top of the Willamette Valley, and further down there is, I guess that's supposed to be Oregon City or the outskirts of Oregon City, and I'm sure there's more to the city that we have not seen yet. Not to mention, that's where the new home for these characters are going to be. They were quite a selection of characters I've picked. Sure, they were flawed at the beginning, but at the end, a few of them became flawless in their skills of wit and a few other things. So after all that, we have traveled for 145 days. So congratulations, you have made it to Oregon. The journey was a long and challenging one, but now your party could look forward to a new life in the Willamette Valley. September 23rd, 1849. The grandfather clock unlocked. That's what we did in addition to Oregon or bust. And look at this. We have traveled for 2,237 miles. And these are all their party members. They all survived. We only had one near-death experience that happened to Gus at the very beginning. And we only had about two of them that were forlorn, and that was Gus and Walter, those two pessimists. It was only Maggie and Annie that were the resilient ones. Not to mention ones with the most wit and a few other things. So no deaths here. The journey's completed is 2 out of 5 because I did a prologue and the main Oregon Trail. 21% of the achievements. 80% of the animals collected. 29% of the fish collected. And the game completion in general is only at 20%. Not so bad for someone who did it for the first time here on this very first playthrough that I've done here. But wait, it's not over yet. Try out the next journey, the Chisholm Trail. Texas fever has struck. Cook delicious meals for the colorful trio of cowboys as they drive the cattle north along the famous trail forged by Jesse Chisholm and Black Beaver. Let's return to the menu, because again, we'll do that in a future video. So, there you have it. And there's so many generals that's been unlocked here, which, you know, I got some time. I mean, we got plenty of time left on this video that I can read it all to you, of all that we've unlocked here. Trail settlements. Independence. Named after the Declaration of Independence, this bustling frontier town originated as a launching point for a prosperous fur trade. As westbound travelers became more commonplace, however, Independence became known as the first stop along the perilous journey to Oregon. You can read these now. Oregon City. Oregon City was the final stop along the westward trail, allowing settlers to file land claims when they arrived. Next page. So, California Trail. One of the three major immigrant trails, together with the Oregon and Mormon trails. The California Trail was most famously used to reach California during the gold rush. It was similar to the Oregon Trail in many ways, including its tragically high mortality rate. We'll experience that in a future video. The Mormon Trail. One of the three major immigrant trails, together with Oregon and California trails. The Mormon Trail was perhaps most famous for being traversed with hand carts instead of more traditional wagons. Between 1856 and 1860, thousands of immigrants attempted the journey in this manner. Wish could do that in Oregon Trail too. Now, Fort Laramie. Founded as Fort William, renamed to Fort John, and then renamed once again. Fort Laramie was a major trading post in the upper Platte River Valley. Perhaps it should have been spelled Laramie, however, for Jacques Laramie, the French-Canadian frontiersman it had intended to honor. Fort Bridger was established in 1842. Fort Bridger was a vital resupply point for the westward trails. The modern-day town of Fort Bridger, Wyoming was built in near and named for the fort. Fort Hall. Located near the Snake River, Fort Hall was an immensely important trading post, perhaps best known as the launching port for Marcus Whitman's first wagon train. Fort Boise. After the second fort was constructed nearby in 1863, the more properly known as Old Fort Boise, the outpost would eventually be abandoned after being rebuilt several more times. Natural landmarks. Courthouse Rock is a large natural rock formation comprised of clay, sandstone, and volcanic ash. Ironically, it looks nothing like a courthouse. Nonetheless, along the adjacent Jailhouse Rock, it served as a major early landmark on the Oregon Trail. Dubbed Independence Rock, because travelers aimed to reach on before July 4th, this landmark was covered top to bottom with engravings from passers-by. Travelers' names were especially common, though others chose to carve religious symbols. Soda Springs, with its naturally occurring pools of carbonated water, was an extremely popular tourist destination. The water is most frequently mixed in with the other beverages. It was also used to wash clothes and bake bread, as well as for medicinal purposes. Three Island Lookout, one of the most perilous stretches of the trail. The Three Island crossing was just what it sounded like. Three short yet treacherous river crossings in rapid succession. We never tipped over in that whole trail, thank goodness. The Kansas River, also known as the Kaw. The Kansas River was one of the world's longest prairie rivers. It was named for the nearby Kansa Native Americans. Big Blue River, the largest tributary of the Kansas River. Big Blue was first known as the Great Blue Earth River by the local Kansa Native Americans. Green River. Vast and powerful, the Green River regularly spans up to 500 feet in width and can be 20 feet deep. Despite its name, it's often a reddish shade, owing to the color in the soil crafted along by its waters. There we go. Now we're on the mechanical side of things. Cultural legacies. For theater. There is a live audience interactive musical based on the video games, in which the audience picks the characters' names and even which characters die. Music. While many well-known songs were sung on the trail, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes, for example. The trail itself inspired many contemporary pieces of music. Television. A television series based on and named after the Oregon Trail aired in 1976. It followed a family of immigrants as they traversed from Illinois to the Pacific Northwest. The series ran for 14 episodes, including a pilot. I ought to go check that out, since I've been watching a lot of old movies and TV as of late. I should check that out, Oregon Trail. I'm sure it's available on YouTube. If not, I'll find it by other means. Video Game Hall of Fame. Due to its massive popularity, long-running success, and influence on students across America, the Oregon Trail was inducted into the Video Game Hall of Fame in 2016. Trail challenges. Skillful. I discovered all the party's skills in a single run in the Oregon Trail. That I did. Medical and cooking skills were essential on the trail, as was the ability to navigate. It is, of course, quite difficult to travel west if you do not know which direction west is. Though professional guides could be hired for these skills, most travelers may do with what towns they and their families already possessed. Reached Oregon before October in the Oregon Trail. That I did. Reaching Oregon could take anywhere from 4 to 6 months, but many immigrants made the trip in much better time. Common tricks included traveling on Sundays instead of resting, walking for more hours per day, and taking advantage of the many shortcuts built over the years. Reached Oregon without any of the party members dying or leaving. Way of life. The Donation Land Claim Act of 1850 was a law intended to promote settlement in Oregon. Though it helped many white immigrants forge new homes, it discriminated non-white settlers and unjustly deprived Native Americans of their land. Reached Oregon after completing at least 20 route challenges. Many immigrants made the trip to and from Oregon under challenging circumstances indeed. From travelers using hand carts in lieu of wagons to those who managed multiple wagon trains, there are several stories of voyagers who made the trip even more difficult than it needed to be. Reached the Master Emigrant rating 5. The 16-bit minicomputers. The original 1971 edition of the Oregon Trail was hosted on the 16-bit minicomputers. This early version was text-only, requiring the player to type "bang" to shoot their rifle. Now to people. There's only one immigrant. Marcus Whitman. A physician and missionary, Marcus Whitman traveled west to establish the Whitman Mission in Oregon Territory. He eventually met an untimely end at the hands of Chief Tulukite in what would become known as the Whitman Massacre. John Tyler completed 100 events so far. John Tyler was the President of the United States from 1841 to 1845, having been sworn in after his predecessor's untimely death. Tyler sought a treaty with Britain in order to set the boundaries of Oregon. Now here's some trivia. We got 2 personal articles here. We have consumed 1,000 pounds of food. Food on the trail had to be hearty and long-lasting. Beans, rice, dried fruit, and meat. Salted bacon and crackers were all common comestibles. Flour and sugar were also used for baking on occasion. And I raised the character skill 20 times. That I did. I was power leveling them. Planning a voyage west often began consulting with a variety of guidebooks, some more accurate than others. A booming market saw many poor quality travel guides created for profit alone over time. Finding a book with reliable information became ever more difficult. So much to do, especially in future trails over there. Okay, we got a couple of more ones to read, and then we'll be done with this episode. The Peoria Party. Well, I didn't get all 10 of them. Didn't reunite all of them. And reach Olga while carrying a flag of the Dragoons. That I did not get. So I completed Chauncey's play without making a single mistake. The Gladiator is a famous play penned by play in 1830 by Robert Montgomery Bird. He wrote it in response to the cash prize offered by Edwin Forrest, an American actor looking for a suitable vehicle to showcase his talents. Although the play was hugely successful, Bird never saw the promised compensation for his work. Wasn't able to win all the gunslinger challenges. I was able to talk about his vengeance. Gunslinging was common in the Old West. It was a way to settle disputes over almost anything. Women, gambling, money, or even a perceived slight or insult. Killings often spark ongoing feuds between families that could last for generations as each member sought vengeance for the death of another in a violent cycle. Gambling was a common pastime among immigrants on the trail, though most wagon trains had very strict rules about it, especially in combination with drinking, dice, card games, and target shooting were especially popular. The black powder used in ammunition of the time produced large clouds of choking smoke. The experience of firing more than a few shots indoors was likened to being in a full-blown house fire. Successfully funded his wind wagon. Didn't fund the other one. You can counter while traveling a wind wagon. Well, maybe in a future trail. Samuel Peppard's wind wagon carried him and his crew for hundreds of miles, but in an ironic twist, it was the wind itself that ended his journey. The small tornado caught the wagon and sails up, permanently disabling it. Luckily, nobody was injured. Last 3 things to read. Frail Monument. Made sure that little Mary got her doll for her birthday. Children on the trail didn't have access to many toys, and were certainly not mass-produced ones. Toys were handmade from available materials such as wood, rope, and scraps of fabric. Young girls may have learned to sew by making their own dolls. Talk to little Mary every opportunity. That I did. Travelers on the Oregon Trail were able to keep in touch with relatives back home by writing letters, which could be posted from the forts they visited along the way. These letters were treasured by family members and had held great sentimental value. Helped there carve their name in a rock of independence. Remember a party member using one of the new epitaphs. Hasn't occurred to me yet because nobody in my party died. Independence Rock was a popular place for immigrants to carve their names, but these deliberate messages are not the only mark that travelers left on the landscape. There are many places where ragged ruts still clearly visible in the ground to this day. That's all we have to read here. So, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the end of this episode. In the next episode, there are so many trails to pick out here. You can scroll it this way. You don't have to use the mouse wheel. So many things to do, but some of which will be will be locked unless you do one of these first. So perhaps you could do some of these to unlock party members and items. So in classes and items that we may need. So I'll figure out what we will do. God, I'm stammering because I'm getting tired of talking. It's a long day. Because I did the last 2 episodes of this main trail on this very day that I recorded on. in which that day was August 19th on Saturday. So we hope you people have enjoyed this episode. We're just getting started with this series, because this will continue on. This will be a regular part of the Lord Master channel. So I'll figure out what journey that I'll do next in the next episode. So we'll see you in the next trail. But until then, so long for now.